This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. You are your greatest asset. It's time you started investing in that. Visit betterhelp.com/double toasted and take care of you. He's Hollywood royalty. Thing is, if you're Hollywood royalty, they will overlook a lot of shit. That's why when I tell you about Hollywood and I tell you about all this Me Too movement stuff, all this diversity bullshit they got going on, Hollywood will do what Hollywood does, and they will do the wrong thing until they are forced to do right. Hey everybody, Double Toasted Live on tour is heading to Los Angeles, California, November 5th. We're going to be at the Miracle Room, and we had such an amazing show in New York, had such a great experience. I want to thank everybody for that, but we can't wait to bring the same experience to you over in the lovely city of Los Angeles. So go to x1entertainment.com and get your tickets today. VIP and super VIP tickets are available, so get them now. But we're not just stopping there. Hey, as I said, this is a tour. So also catch us in Chicago, Miami, Orlando, and Dallas, Texas. Again, go to x1entertainment.com and get your tickets today, and we'll see you at a city near you. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. Oh, let me see. I got some nice emails today. You know, I was talking about John Wick being on my shirt. I got a cool shirt, y'all. Action stars as Street Fighter type characters. So I just heard that. Let me see. Corey, did you see that there's outrage against the John Wick franchise because they cast Mel Gibson in the prequel TV show, The Continental? People are pissed online. Why y'all pissed now? Let me see here. Okay, so this will be a good thing to talk about just real quick while we're on it. Mel Gibson, first star set for John Wick origin series, The Continental, for Starz and Lionsgate Television. Mel Gibson has been set to star in The Continental, the prequel to the Keanu Reeves film series John Wick. The Continental will be presented as a 3-night special event TV series produced by Starz by Lionsgate Television. Continental will explore the origin behind the Hotel for Assassins, which increasingly has become the centerpiece of the John Wick universe. Where's the part where people are upset about this? Where's the part where people are mad? Because I don't see anybody getting mad here. And I don't even know if I should dare step into this territory. Everybody already got mad at me for just giving an opinion about the Dave Chappelle special. Was very fair
walk
with
in,
that.
walk out.
Yeah, you walk in and run the.
Yeah, watch your back.
I have not tried to counsel anybody. Shit, I ain't even tried to counsel Mel Gibson. And Mel Gibson is somebody I've been just kind of irritated with for years, man. But I ain't never said don't hire Mel Gibson, boycott Mel Gibson. And why the y'all mad right now? Let me see here. Because I'm going to tell y'all something with Mel Gibson. If y'all are mad about Mel Gibson at this point, I'm not saying you don't have a point, but if you're mad about Mel Gibson at this point, you are really to the party, man, if you ask me. Because Mel Gibson, he's been out there and been working. I'm going to look at this right now. Mel Gibson has been, really, y'all going to get mad at Mel Gibson now. Let me see here. So Mel Gibson has been out there, because we all know what Mel Gibson did. I don't need to play the tape for you, but I will quote it for you. Mel Gibson got on the phone and yelled at his young wife, telling her, like, you look like you're hanging out with a pack of. Talked about us like we were beer or something, a 6-pack of. You know, it's like, I was very. Why would anybody not be upset by that? Why would anybody not want to call Mel Gibson out on that shit? But so much time has passed since he said that. Somebody somewhere told me he said that, he's sorry. Even you had Riggs or Murtaugh, whoever he is, you had Danny Glover out there talking about he's good to me. He a friend.
That should help.
No. The man has been out there so long, been in family movies. He's been out there working so long that the motherfucker is Santa Claus.
This is what people actually think of me. Christmas is a farce. I am a joke.
Well, some people believe that, but it's I Mel Gibson, he's been out there so long and been working so much. Why are we gonna get mad at him for being in John Wick? Do we hold John Wick that sacred at this point that now we gonna say, hey, wait a minute, that wasn't cool what he said? Not to mention the other things that he said. Let's talk about how he called a woman sweet tits and the dude kind of had. Listen, y'all, let's not bullshit around. I know Mel Gibson, huge celebrity. I know how it is. We're not supposed to talk about celebrities. They're up here. We're down here. We pray at their altar. That dude, man, that dude has a problem with Jews and has been putting that out there for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that dude has a problem. I'm going to say it. Mel Gibson has a problem with Jews and tried to get mad at Ricky Gervais when Ricky Gervais called him out on stage and made fun of him and pretty much calling him out on his bullshit. Now, I've seen a lot of Mel Gibson movies since then because I'm not the one that tries to go out there and boycott for people not to be out there. Because you know what happens when you actually try to counsel someone and you boycott someone, you pull them out there, you call them on their shit and let things go where they go. But if you actively go out there and try to pull somebody out, it just makes the opposition stronger, or it makes the detractors stronger, or it makes everybody else, it proves a point to some people. But Mel Gibson at this point, I don't give a and hanging out with John Wick or hanging out at the hotel that John Wick's been sleeping at. I really can't care at this moment. There's a lot more going on, and the time that we should have been real mad at Mel Gibson, well, at the time nobody gave a so what's the difference now? Is it because he's on TV? That's the biggest difference? I don't know. Oz, you got a take on this?
Yeah, when that whole Mel Gibson thing happened, there was some sort of outrage. But what happens when black people voice their outrage? What happens? It gets spun into some other bullshit, right? Whether it is George Floyd or whatever, which turned on us as being something else. And I think that's what happened when it came to Mel Gibson. The narrative got turned into something else. And when it got turned into something else, it got swept under the rug, like what happens with all of our issues with things happening, right? So if it was another group, I'm sure it would have get on and he would have had to apologize publicly, to say something. But, it's just us black people. Go away for a little bit, do your stuff behind the scenes, and we'll bring you back out later. And that's exactly what happened. So I don't think it's a thing where, people forgot about it. It's just that, again, it got swept under the rug, like all of our issues get swept under the rug because nobody takes it seriously, or we can yell as loud as we want. But if we yell loud, guess what? We're not being submissive, or, we're doing too much, or whatever the thing they want to call us for doing. So I don't think it's a case where, people forgot about it. It's just that, okay, we heard you, whatever, again.
He's Hollywood royalty. Thing is, if you're Hollywood royalty, they will overlook a lot of shit. That's why when I tell you about Hollywood and I tell you about all this Me Too movement stuff, all this diversity bullshit they got going on, Hollywood will do what Hollywood does, and they will do the wrong thing until they are forced to do right. There have been pedophiles. There have been rapists. There have always been racist. There's been all kind of people who've been covered up by Hollywood because Hollywood just didn't want to pull them aside because either they made too much money or they were too big to talk to. They were powerful. So that's what Mel Gibson was, man. Mel Gibson was a dude who was he was too big to try to make fail. He was too powerful. He's been in the game for a long time.
He talks the way he wants to talk because he knows he's going to get away with it. He has been getting away with it, so whatever.
Yeah, it's that, and back then, black wasn't in. So, we wasn't, it wasn't our time to rise or whatever.
Yeah, the voice wasn't there. I'm going to tell you, man, I went to a screening of that movie called The Beaver that Jodie Foster directed. And I'm not going to even talk about just Hollywood. It's also the people who enable Hollywood, which are the fans, the people who fuel Hollywood with their money. I went to go see this movie, The Beaver, and I sat in there and I looked around and I first of all, I'm there because I was just curious to see, all right, what is this audience going to be like after this whole thing came out with Mel Gibson, and I will tell you this much, and I do believe that The Beaver came out after this whole thing with Mel Gibson yelling at his wife on the phone and whatnot. I might be having some kind of Mandela effect. So if I am, I'm sorry. But I was pretty sure. Y'all help me out. Did The Beaver come out? Chat, help me out. Did The Beaver come out after the whole controversy with him yelling at his wife? Somebody said, yeah. Somebody said, "Yep." Mel Gibson, of course, that whole thing had just happened. So Mel Gibson, he was nowhere to be seen. But Jodie Foster was there. And Jodie Foster was just gushing about Mel Gibson and everything about how great he is, a great actor, the Hollywood legend and whatnot. The crowd is eating this up, man. Crowd is just loving this. Oh, we're film fans and Jodie Foster's here. We're basking in our glow. And I guarantee you, if you had got up and said remotely anything, like, well, what about the controversy? And I'm not talking about like getting up and saying, hey, man, Mel Gibson, that mother, he's a racist. Call me a pack of niggas. No, you know what? I'm talking about calmly getting up and saying, well, Miss Foster, what about this controversy that Mel Gibson was recently entangled in? The whole, not Jodie Foster, but the audience would have been like, boo, why are you bringing this up? We're trying to enjoy a movie about a man and his puppet beaver. How dare you? They would have told your ass to sit down because they don't want you to hear. They don't want you to go in there and put any kind of dirt on the celebrities that they love so much. So
yes,
they
label you as being difficult.
I could give a shit less about Mel Gibson at this point, man. There's too many things to worry about. I will watch The Continental. I have seen movies that he's in. I ain't trying to boycott this dude. I will always say something about it if it needs to be said. I ain't gonna just walk in a room where people are watching a movie like Lethal Weapon and be like, hey, man, y'all fuck this guy. What are you doing? Cut this shit off. I'm not gonna do that. I'm cool. And maybe he's changed. I don't know. I just think even more than the black thing, though, I think he might be all right with the black thing now. He might be cool with that. He might really be sorry. But there's something about this man and Jews that I really do not think that I don't think he's kosher with them.
No.
From the perspective of seeing him as an actor, I still think he's brilliant, man. I saw him in this movie. It was a shitty movie. It was something about a hurricane about to come through. He was the only good thing in it, if I can be honest with you. But
I mean, I just got I got a problem. I mean, granted, man, if you're racist or whatever, just keep it in your closet, man. But if you come out talking about that craziness, hitting kids with the hard R, like it doesn't sound like this is the first time he used that word. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was walking around saying that a lot. For me, it's like, all right. Sensibilities change. Like, I think I'm good on that. I'm like you said, I'm not gonna walk around with the freaking sign, start protesting. You know what I mean? But for me personally, I'm like, I'm good on that, and I'm good on him.
Yeah, I'm sure he called Danny Glover the N word.
Of course,
with the hard R.
With the hard R. Danny Glover was like, oh, you just stop playing around.
Yeah. No, I think we have more of a voice today. A lot of people have more of a voice today. So whether somebody's in or out, I ain't trying to counsel anybody. That was the problem. And I'm not feeding to that. I'm not going to say I did, because every time you say you dislike somebody or you have a criticism of someone, we're in an age now where people think that means you want to cancel. I'm sick of that. I ain't trying to cancel anybody. Hey, people do what they do. You say what you want to say, and I'll say exactly what I want to say about you. And everybody's good.
And that's pretty much it, right? Whatever, cancel. If you want to say cancel, I have never said cancel at all. That's what you want to take it as. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's what I said. I didn't say cancel. I said you. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's.
Quote me right, damn it. Quote me right.
Yeah, shit. Everybody got an opinion. And I heard there was a saying. You've heard it before. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one, but the term I like on is I had a drill sergeant. He told me, he said, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and most of them stink. Me, it's like, well, mine don't. What are you talking about? Hey.